Hi. Hello there. It's a Black Shadow. Hope you're all keeping fairly well. We're creeping our way into February. I think it was probably about time to get another update onto the channel to let you guys know what's going on. Even if the answer to that is, well, not a lot currently. To sum up the last month's activities, we played Galarians, and that was about it. A confluence of various events and factors have caused this. I'll get into that in a little bit more detail momentarily. But as far as Galarians is concerned, if you've not seen it, you should probably go and have a look at it. Old school survival horror ? While I can't sit here and say that I think it's a great game, the controls are awkward, the gameplay has not aged well, the story for a while is kind of meh. Several of the characters are pretty unremarkable. And I think the overall presentation is rather unremarkable. I did find the experience somewhat cathartic in the end. And it was like the sum of the parts was greater than the whole. Even when I was having to contend with a stupid door knocking sequence, or the times where the publishers just lie straight to your face. But to be fair, when the story did kick in, it was kind of interesting. Rita's a cool character, and the penultimate boss fight of the game was actually kind of cool as well. So there's some high points to meet with a few fairly middling lows, but I don't regret doing the series at all. Other than that, though, the only other thing that's really going on the YouTube channel has been uploading and getting up a few of the selected episodes for the Ruffle Raffle, which is currently still ongoing on Twitch. The good news is we're nearly done. Shocking, right? We've only got 2 more streams of that to go. We're at like about game 78, 79 or something. And while I do enjoy playing Outbreak, and I know a lot of you guys do enjoy watching Outbreak, I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be kind of glad once this raffle is over. We have played a lot of Outbreak over the past sort of like 5 months or so. It has been crazy. 85 games that was won and bought for in the September Twitch reward stuff. And there is still the No Donut Challenge, where I'll be playing all 10 main stories as Harry on solo, on very hard, and seeing if I can do it. Unless something very surprising happens, I'm pretty sure that's going to be pretty much all the Outbreak we'll be playing until September of this year. As I say, it has been so much of it. But it's been a lot of fun. I think the raffle this year has been pretty good. The new snips have been fun. Big Pharma has been kind of curiously brutal, but some good times nonetheless. So, why has the channel been kind of on the quiet side? Well, let's get into it. First of all, as I'm sure a few of you are aware, especially on the Discord side of things, you'll know that my attention is split between this channel, but also, especially over the past month or so, on another channel I'm now involved in, Hidden Assets, which is getting ready for a bit of an actual, like, proper official launch. This is a channel that, at the official moment, was officially the domain of someone that I met on the interwebs, but effectively has now become a 50-50 project with the Golden Path Internationals. This is a large online tournament for Dune Imperium, which is a board game that I have been hosting with a $1,000 prize pool. Not too shabby. We're at the end of the group stages, about to come into the knockouts or so, which means a lot of the admin side of things is done. But the actual channel itself, we are prepping for an actual proper launch and release of it. We are at a stage where the community that has revolved around this and the work that's gone in, that we think is worth having a proper crack at this. And that is the hope. With Dune Imperium and other bits and pieces we're looking to do on the side as well. But the tournaments are immensely popular. They do a lot of content. The community of the game as well is very, very supportive. And even like with all the work I've put into this, a lot of folks have given me support. And I'll demonstrate it so. We now have a coffee page. I don't know exactly how it's pronounced. I assume it's coffee. But I vary its pronunciation. But yeah, there's been some very, very generous people here, and I'm hugely appreciative of what they've done for me, and managing to, help me do what I do, and obviously a lot of the work that's gone into this. So it's a good feeling, and with all the success of it, we're in a position where we're getting ready to make a full announce of this, and this could well become a semi-business for us to run on the side, and that would be really awesome. If I can split my time between this and, say, my actual own channel, that'd be awesome, but this is going on a bit down the line. But it's not all happy, admittedly. There is other things currently going on, mainly in that, well, I'm moving again pretty soon. Unfortunately, this is not something that was planned at the start of the year, but is the situation that has come across that I will be needing to move homes in a couple of months or so. I don't know exactly where I'm going to be going yet. I am eyeing up a return to the hometown, but it's very likely that I will be moving from Tamworth, which is where I've been staying, a little place not too far outside of Birmingham, and the ancient capital of the Mercian Kingdom, if you want to revisit your 4th century history books. I've enjoyed my time here, I guess. It's been kind of complicated, though. My first year and a bit here was spent in lockdown with COVID, and then I spent about a year or so working with the transport business that I was with, and then that came to an end back in September, and that leads us basically to here. I do kind of feel maybe I wasn't able to give Tamworth a fair crack of it, but there's some lovely places to visit here. But I never got to visit as much or do as much as I wanted to do here. I never got to meet a ton of people here as well. It's one of those things, I guess. Some circumstances beyond my control largely contributing to this, but that's the way it goes. So the move is going to be at the end of April, maybe beginning of May. We'll kind of roughly work out how that's going to work out timing-wise. It'll be dependent on things, obviously. But on top of that, and I have been planning to do for several months, and I'm not going to be turned away from, is I am going to be making a trip over to North America once again, as I want to do. Over the course of the Easter weekend, looking to make a trip to Toronto for about a week or so, and then I'm going to be heading over to Seattle, it looks like it's going to be, to meet with the person actually that helps run the Hidden Assets channel. He's offered me a place there, and it'd be really cool to actually meet him and do whatever else, and that'd be very, very cool to do. And then coming back some point around the Easter weekend, maybe just afterwards. This does lead very kindly into the next part of the reasons why it's been kind of quiet, in that with all of the confluence of stuff going on, I've just not really had anything I've really wanted to do for the channel. And, it's kind of a weird thing to say that, and I don't say it with, great happiness or joy or whatnot, but that's kind of the truth. There are times where it's like, oh, I want to do this, 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 and this. And obviously, I spoke in the last couple of videos about things I do want to do. I have intentions, say, to do the Final Fantasy X-2 remaster across the summer, that sort of thing. But admittedly, things have changed to a point where I just don't know what the exact circumstances of the channel is going to be for the short to medium term. And that's just the reality of the matter. Other things to talk about as well, as far as this is concerned, that have been mentioned to me. The Dead Space remake, for example, came out about a week or so ago, and a couple of people have asked me if I would be interested in doing the Dead Space remake, and I've kind of been, not really emotionally invested in Dead Space for the remake. I'm glad it came out. People have been playing it. On the whole, I believe they've generally enjoyed it, but I've not really been in any rush to get involved in this at all. Obviously, I've done the first 2 games and enjoyed them to varying degrees. You can look at those series on the playlists, and eventually I'll assume at some point I'll do Dead Space 3, at least sample it. But I've not been in a hurry to really get involved in this. Another thing I should make a mention of as well is Resident Evil 4, which of course is due out at the end of March. Now, with the current time schedule, I'm not even going to be in the country when this gets released, and the problem with that is that by the time I do get into the country, I'm going to be largely just packing, getting ready to go. So it's very possible, while I typically these games, with Resident Evils, I historically, and do like to do, I will record them and upload them on release. I'm probably never even going to get a chance to play this until May. Unless other circumstances change or anything like that. You never know, things happen, but I think it's pretty likely that I'm not going to touch this for probably about 6 to 8 weeks after release until I even get a chance to play it. Which is what it is. And that's a bit of a shame, but what can you do? I just do want to make a quick mention. It's not a shill, but I do want to recognize and thank everyone that has been supporting the channel here. Oh, I forgot to change the profile picture on the Patreon. Oops, I'll need to go ahead and do that. I knew I missed something. But yeah, thanks to everyone that has been supporting the Patreon of this. I don't shill it enough, and there are times I feel like I don't do enough really to warrant or deserve it. But people have supported me for it, and I'm very kind. This is basically now the Tamworth Exodus Fund for the foreseeable future. At some point, we'll work it out from there. But yeah, again, there are people that support this, and you're all fantastic people. And there are times I wish I could do more for you guys. Other than, my gratitude is all that I can really offer for you at the moment. So I hope that'll suffice for the time being. We'll have a little look at the Twitch channel while we're here, and this has been probably more active than YouTube, all things being honest. Obviously still doing the Raffle Raffle every Thursday, and as mentioned, not a lot left. The plan is, as far as the raffle, we've got the next 2 Thursdays. We'll be finishing up the rest of the raffle with about 8 games, and then the secretary will also incorporate a few custom scenarios that we'll look to do, as we typically do at the end of the raffles. I'm then going to take a Thursday off, and then that leaves 3 Thursdays before I board a plane, with the intention of completing the No Donuts Challenge. I would like to think I can get it done in 3 weeks, but you never quite know. Outside of that, however, one thing I have been making a point of doing is... That's a very... That was curious. One thing that I will be... have been doing is I have been archiving and highlighting the various broadcasts that we've been doing. Not so much of the Raffle Raffles, because a lot of that makes its way onto the YouTube anyways. But as a way for me to kind of stop with the double work and also cut down on the time that's being spent on bits and pieces, that a lot of the streams are just being highlighted here. So if you want to look at stuff that I've done, you can do so. And the main things that we've done here is DMC's 4 and the DMC reboot as well. And I will say, I didn't really enjoy DMC 4 enough. I got really annoyed at Nero and the kind of way it worked. I thought it was far too technical for someone like me who's not really played a whole lot. But I actually did kind of enjoy DMC's reboot from 2013. It was a surprising amount of fun, even if Dante is a complete prick. And I guess that's okay, because he knows he's a complete prick, and I guess that's fine. But yeah, DMC's reboot was great. I really enjoyed the experience. The plan is to do DMC 5. Whether that's going to happen before I leave, though, I have no idea. And again, that's kind of where we're at the moment here. Outside of the Raffle Raffle, the short to medium term, I don't really know what it is at the moment. It's like going to a doctor's surgery and saying, I'm not feeling too well, and they have a look at you, and they just kind of shrug and say, you'll probably be fine. That's kind of what it feels like, and I guess, yeah, I'm sorry that I can't give anything more definitive at the moment, but I wouldn't want to tell you things that are either likely to be either untrue or things that I can't guarantee are going to happen. I've had that at times with the channel where I've said, oh, we're going to do this and this and this, and I just don't do it. And I don't enjoy doing that, so maybe it's better for me to just kind of say, I don't know, we'll work it out as we go. I'm going to be boarding a plane in 6 weeks, and then I'm going to be leaving where I live in 2.5 months. And then come May, who knows? We'll work it out then. It's not the best realities, but it is kind of where we're at here. And so that's realistically everything for the update video. I guess I'm sorry I can't give anything a bit more concrete at the moment of what's going on exactly, and that I can't sit here and say, well, this is going to be the next YouTube series, because I don't know, and I wouldn't want to build up false hopes for something that then doesn't happen for whatever reason. It's all a little bit awkward. I would like to think that in the next couple of weeks or so, I'll see something that will take the imagination, and we're like, yeah, this would be a cool YouTube series to do before all hell breaks loose in 6 weeks, but I don't know what that is at the moment. I don't know. Between other bits, all everything else going on, yeah, it's a little complicated, and hopefully you guys can understand that. It's not me saying goodbye. It's just kind of a farewell for now sort of thing, right? Even though I'm not actually going in and do intend to do bits and pieces, so we'll kind of work it out. But no, once everything calms down, And eventually I will sit down and we will play something at some point with someone somewhere. It's a great Into Update video, isn't it? Take care, everyone. I'll see you soon.